Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. The bright light was just like a falling star as it swept through the sky with lightning-like speed, attracting the eyes of everyone present. Xiao Yan was the fastest to react. The wings behind him flapped suddenly the moment the red light tore through the energy barrier and escaped. Within a couple of flashes, he had appeared a short distance from the blood light. He curled his hand and a suction force was emitted. The speed at which the red light flew out was greatly diminished. Humph! A somewhat cold snort suddenly descended from the sky while Xiao Yan was stopping the red light. At the same time, waves after waves of dangerous feeling quickly surged out from within his heart. Bang! A feeling of danger had just appeared in his heart when the light above his head suddenly became dim. Soon after, the sky above Xiao Yan's head suddenly exploded apart. A white jade-like hand was extended from the sky. It grabbed at Xiao Yan and the destructive strength contained within the palm wind caused even Xiao Yan's exterminating fire lotus to be unable to catch up. Han Tiendi. Such a frightening pressure immediately caused this name to flash within Xiao Yan's heart. Only Xiao Yuan and this person could be able to use such a frightening energy as they pleased. Withdraw. Xiao Yan did not pause even briefly in the face of the white jade-like hand. His body directly pulled backwards. He understood that with his strength, it was impossible for him to fight with Han Tiendi. It was likely even extremely difficult for him to stop this person for even a moment. The name of the ultimate expert on the Do Chi continent was not simply an empty one. Xiao Yan was not slow, but that large hand was even faster. It directly tore through the space and grabbed downwards. However, the space around Xiao Yan fluctuated intensely just as the large hand was about to grab downwards. Immediately, another large palm tore through the space and collided violently with the clear white large hand. Bang! The two collided ferociously. An extermination storm quickly swept apart. Xiao Yan's expression changed drastically upon sensing the terrifying storm. His body hurriedly pulled back, as he feared getting dragged into the fight. Han Tiendi, since you wish to start a war, my Jiyu clan will accompany you till the end. Xiao Yuan's stern cry, which seemed to vaguely contain a trace of fury, sounded in the sky after the large hands collided. Ha ha, you should have uttered these words back and when the Xiao clan had been destroyed by our Han clan. Saying these words now is a little too late. Han Tiendi's faint laughter sounded in the sky. After his voice sounded, many huge spatial cracks were suddenly rapidly formed in the empty space. Black fog surged out from within in all directions. Waves after waves of unusually powerful dark and cold auras spread from within the crack line. Has the Han clan's army been mobilized? Xiao Yan's expression changed slightly after he sensed the number of powerful auras within the crack lines. Ayo! Black fog surged out from the cracks like floodwaters the moment they appeared. Finally, the swiftly turned into 100,000 feet large black seal. The black seal was suspended in the sky. The huge shadow completely covered this mountain range. Activate the formation. Seeing the huge black seal suspended in the sky, the expressions of all the experts within the Jiyu clan had become grave. The Han clan had indeed come prepared. Fortunately, the experts from the Jiyu clan had already received their orders. Many loud cries immediately sounded. Boom boom. Light curtains suddenly surged from the mountains after the cries sounded. Waves after waves of powerful majestic energy, which caused one to shudder, turned into light pillar that whistled upwards. Finally, it flew into the sky and formed a gorgeous ancient mirror, which size was not inferior to the black seal. Light sparkled on the mirror, which was filled with a shocking energy fluctuation. Exterminating seal. The black seals in the sky shook. Suddenly, a low and sharp voice that seemed to belong to tens of thousands of individuals was emitted from within the crack lines. Immediately, the black seal directly descended from the sky. It was as though a disaster had fell onto this mountain range. The area within hundreds of thousands of feet would been destroyed in an instant if the black seal struck the ground. Gudi's mirror. All the experts from the Gu clan maintaining the formation had reddened faces at this moment. Their furious cry resounded over the sky. Immediately, an incomparably huge brilliant ancient mirror appeared and collided heavily with the black seal in front of many anxious pairs of eyes. Rumble. The entire world seemed to have collapsed at this moment. An indescribable destructive fluctuation raged crazily. Even though the ancient world is strong, many dark black cracks had been formed at this moment. Two huge creatures had violently collided in the sky. Immediately, they collapsed under the raging storm. Grug? Many experts from the Gu clan below ended up spitting out a mouthful of blood after the ancient mirror collapsed. The space cracks, which were filled with black fog, also emitted many sharp miserable wails. Clearly, the all-out fight between the two clans this time around had resulted in quite a great loss. The extermination storm raged within the sky. Even the battlegrounds had been suppressed by it. The three immortals of the Gu clan, and the 4 demon saints of the Hun clan, withdrew their bodies while wearing frightened expressions. Despite their strength, they would likely end up dying if they were to be struck by this extermination storm. The only people who could remain fine under this extermination storm were Hun Tiendi, Gu Yuan, and the Nihility devouring flame. Xiao Yan hid within the formation. He looked at the extermination fluctuation that was spreading wildly in the distant sky like a furious roaring dragon. His expression was grave. Was this an attack that was unleashed with the strength of the entire clan? That earlier attack was definitely comparable to a 9-star Do Xing. After the numbers reached a certain level, it was indeed sufficient to create a significant change. Where is the ancient jade? The solemn expression on Xiao Yang's face continued for an instant before he suddenly turned his eyes. Finally, they paused on the spot outside of the extermination storm in the sky. A weak red light was vaguely visible at that spot. While Xiao Yang saw the position of the ancient jade, the Nihility devouring flame, who was still entangled in a battle with the clan heads of the Lei and Yang clans, suddenly pulled back. The area behind him was the location of the ancient jade. Stop him. He intends to snatch the ancient jade. Xiao Yang hurriedly cried out, with a change in expression upon seeing this scene. Lei Ying and Yang Jin had a slight change in expression after hearing Xiao Yang's cry. Their bodies immediately rushed forward. Lightning calamity palm. Descending flame mysterious finger. The two of them unleashed a sharp attack simultaneously while their bodies moved. A huge bright lightning palm and blinding fire glow flashed through the empty space at a speed undetectable to the naked eye and swiftly hurried towards the Nihility devouring flame. Humph! The Nihility devouring flame had a slightly cold expression as he faced the sharp attacks from the two of them. However, he did not dodge. Instead, his body shook. Countless black spirals appeared in the space around him. Bang bang bang. A frightening attack suddenly arrived. Densely packed black hole ripples continued to explode continuously. Although the black hole had hindered the attacking speed, this was merely a way to delay time. Once the black holes completely collapsed, the lightning palm and the fire finger immediately landed on the back of the Nihility devouring flame. A frightening strength exploded on the Nihility devouring flame's back. Black flame shot out in all directions. Even with the great strength of the Nihility devouring flame, he involuntarily staggered, after being struck heavily by Lei Ying and Yang Jin. His body also became paler. With the help of this force, his body appeared at the red light in a flash. His mouth widened and swallowed the ancient jade into his mouth. The Nihility devouring flame laughed out loud after the ancient jade landed in his hands. The 4 demon saints from the Hun clan rushed forward and guarded him. Their eyes were cautiously looking at Lei Ying and Yang Jin, who were giving chase. He, have you beaten till your fill? Be rest assured this I will definitely make you repay this palm strike today many times over. The expression of the Nihility devouring flame had become dark and cold as he looked at Lei Ying and Yang Jin, and laughed in a strange voice. Lei Ying's and Yang Jin's expressions were unusually ugly. It was unexpected that the two of them combined were unable to stop the nihility devouring flame. Instead, they had allowed the latter to snatch his ancient jade. Let's go. The nihility devouring flame did not linger for long after getting hold of the ancient jade. His body moved and he hurried into the spatial crack. Halt. The space fluctuated just as the nihility devouring flame moved. Xiao Yan appeared. His expression seemed slightly gloomy. Before he could attack, the grayish-white clothed Han Tiendi appeared in front of him. He had received Xiao Yan's attack with a flip of his hand. After which, his body drifted backwards. Black fog surged from the spatial crack behind him. A huge black seal was once again formed. Xiao Yan's body trembled as he looked at the black seal which was formed. The experts from the Jiu clan below hurriedly formed the ancient mirror, in an attempt to defend against the exterminating attack from the Jiu clan. Upon seeing this, Xiao Yan, I have said that the Jiu clan had lost the best opportunity to fight the Han clan when the Xiao clan was destroyed. Han Tiendi laughed faintly as he looked at the gloomy Xiao Yan and slowly said, "The Qiushi ancient god mansion will ultimately land in the hands of my Han clan. Xiao Yan, I will advance into that level, trust me. The ancient jade is separated into 8 pieces. You have only obtained 5 of them. There is no need to act in such a pleased manner." Xiao Ying cried out in a cold voice. "Is that so?" A strange smile surfaced on Han Tiendi's face after he heard this. He immediately spoke softly, "The clan heads of the Lei and Yang clan has left their clans. Do you think that the Han clan will not grasp such an opportunity?" "What?" Lei Ying's and Yang Jin's body trembled upon hearing these words. Their expressions became extremely grave. Could it be that the Han clan had also attacked the Yang and Lei clans while attacking the Jiu clan? Han Tiendi merely smiled faintly in the face of the shock from the two of them. He slowly withdrew into the spatial crack line, with the nihility devouring flame and the others. Even Xiao Yan did not dare to simply attack under the deterrence from the huge black seal. "That's right." Han Tiendi's eyes suddenly turned towards Xiao Yan, who was in the formation, just as his body was about to disappear into the crack line. "You are Xiao Yan, right? The ancient jade of the Xiao clan should be in your hands." Half a month later, at the Burial Sky Mountain Range. "Bring the ancient jade over if you wish to rescue your father." Han Tiendi completely disappeared into the spatial crack, after his voice slowly sounded. The huge black seal in the sky trembled before slowly vanishing. The sky slowly being closed up. Many experts in the Jiu clan had gloomy expressions. Although the Jiu clan was not destroyed by the Han clan like the Ling clan, they had still lost the ancient jade. From a certain point of view, the Jiu clan had suffered quite a big loss in the fight with the Han clan. The light throughout the mountains slowly disappeared. Finally, it completely disappeared. It was fortunately that there was proper command. Otherwise, the entire mountain range would have been turned into dust in the battle. This would be considered a big loss to the Jiu clan. Xiao Yang's fist was tightly clenched after he saw the light curtain disappeared. The Han clan was indeed planning to use his father to exchange for the ancient jade. Half a month later, Xiao Yang pressed his lips tightly together. A chillness surged within his eyes. Xiao Yan's expression was gloomy as he watched the spot where the crack had disappeared in the sky. He did not speak. The 3 immortals of the Jiu clan behind him also sighed quietly. The Han clan had indeed been hiding their strength during these years. Who could have expected that the nihility devouring flame had not only been fully recuperated, but had even advanced into the 9-star Do Xing? If it was not because Lei Ying and Yang Jin had fought today, it was likely that this would be an extremely intense big battle. After the disappearance of the Han clan, the rings on Lei Ying's and Yang Jin's fingers suddenly lit up as they stood on the other side. A spiritual fluctuation, containing some information, was transmitted into their minds. Their expressions became dark and cold as they sensed this information. The Lei clan had lost its ancient jade. The Yang clan too. The faces of the Jiyu clan's 3 immortals twitched involuntarily after hearing their words. Some shock surged within their eyes. Han Tiendi was indeed telling the truth. They had also struck the Yang and Lei clans when they were attacking the Jiyu clan. The ancient jades of the 2 clan had been places in the most tightly guarded place. The Han clan had launched such a large-scale attack on the Jiyu clan. Where would they find such a strength to attack separately? Jiyu Dao involuntarily opened his mouth and said, "Based on the information I received, the clan also had an elder who had suddenly betrayed us. He stole the ancient jade and fled. Moreover, he was subsequently received by the experts from the Han clan." Lei Ying's expression was frighteningly guarded. He did not expect that such an incident had also occurred in the Lei clan. "We have all underestimated the Han clan," Yang Jin slowly said. The strength that the Han clan had displayed caused even him to feel a little grave. "We will discuss this in the hall. Now that things had developed until this stage, there is already no room for us to retreat. Given the Han clan's techniques, it is obvious that they will not allow us to survive." Jiyu Yuan's expression gradually became calm. He waved his hand and allowed Jiyu Dao to settle the situation. After which, he turned his body and hurried towards the large hall. His voice was emitted when he entered the hall, "Xiao Yang, you should also come in." Xiao Yang suppressed the churning emotions within his heart as he looked at the others entering the hall one after another. He swiftly followed. Zana hesitated for a moment before following him. Everyone were a little quiet as they watched this scene. They vaguely sensed that the peaceful days of the past was gradually about to disappear. Everyone took their seats within the hall. However, the atmosphere continued to remain solemn because of the earlier incident. "Everyone, there is no need to utter any nice words at this moment. Everyone should be clearly aware of the Han clan's techniques. I have never underestimated the Han clan before, but I have also never been able to clearly understand them. This is the most terrifying aspect of the Han clan." Jiyu Yuan sighed as he looked at the somewhat grave hall. He shook his head and said, "Han Tiendi might be right. If I had been a little firmer when the Xiao clan and the Han clan were engaging in a big war, the situation would likely be very different." Xiao Yang was quiet. He did not really understand the matter back then. Hence, he was unable to say anything. The 8 ancient clans had not been harmonious since the beginning. There had been many conflicts between them. Hence, no one had the right to blame any party for not lending a hand in a conflict. Moreover, they had also begun to taste the result of the Xiao clan being eliminated. It is likely that even the Jiyu clan could not match the strength that the Han clan had displayed. Currently, there is likely no single faction on the Do-Chi continent that could fight the Han clan by itself. Even the Jiyu clan is unable to. Of course, even if my Jiyu clan ends up being completely destroyed, the Han clan will definitely have to pay a severe price for doing so. Jiyu Yuan's expression was grave as he spoke. The big battle today could be considered an initial exchange between the 2 clans. Although the Han clan's army did not appear, it had still unleashed an attack across the spatial crack. However, the most troublesome people to deal with were Han Tiendi and the Nihility devouring flame. The latter had been seriously injured by him back then. No one could have imagined that he had not only fully recovered, but had even stepped into the 9-star Doshin class. In this way, he had completely broken the weak equilibrium of both parties. Both he and Han Tiendi were at the advanced 9-star Doshin class. There was not much of a gap between them. Unless they engaged in a true life and death struggle, no one would be able to do anything to the other. If a Nihility devouring flame was added, he would not be able to fight with the 2 of them combined with his strength. Hence, forming an alliance was the only method to deal with the Han clan. The Nihility devouring flame had once devoured a Chuling king, hence, he possessed the ability of the Chuling clan. In the eyes of the Han clan, us, the ancient clans, are equivalent to their bloodline spring. Everyone might not be happy with this status. Since that is the case, there is only one path for us to take. It is to destroy the Han clan. A dense murderous desire suddenly surged within the hall after the words sounded. It caused one's skin to turn a little cold. Elder Xiao Yuan, you mean, an alliance to fight with the Han clan together? Lei Ying asked. There is no other choice but this. The strength that the Han clan has displayed today is extremely great. Moreover, no one knows if there is any other trump cards within the Han clan. One really have a difficult time grasping this mysterious clan, Xiao Yuan slowly said. Lei Ying and Yang Jin were quiet. If this was really the case, it would be an absolute disaster for both their clans. They would definitely not allow their clan to be a bloodline spring in the eyes of the Han clan. The matter of an alliance is possible. Currently, the Han clan already possess 7 of the 8 jade pieces. If they were to obtain the last piece, they would be able to know where the Qiushi ancient god jade is located and open it. It is rumored that the cave has the secret to advance into the Do Di class. If Han Tiendi is allowed to obtain it, perhaps, it will really be as he had said. He will advance into the Do Di class, which no one had reached in 10,000 years. Yang Jin licked his mouth and said. At that time, the entire continent will completely fall under the control of the Han clan. Everyone was quiet. If Han Tiendi really advanced into that level, it was likely that all of them would lose any ability to retaliate. In front of the legendary Do Di, even the ancient clans were not worth mentioning. At that time, it was likely that he would be able to easily eliminate all the ancient clans with the flip of his hand. The final piece of jade should be on Xiao Yang, right? Everyone's eyes suddenly turned towards Xiao Yang. They had all heard the words Han Tiendi had left behind before he left. Xiao Yang frowned slightly in the face of the many pairs of eyes. He spoke in a deep voice, I must rescue my father. Xiao Yang's voice was soft, but there was an unshakable firmness within it. You should be aware of the result if Han Tiendi is allowed to open the Qiushi ancient god mansion. Yang Jin's bright red eyebrow trembled and said. Xiao Yang was quiet. However, he continued shaking his head. The final piece of ancient jade will definitely remain on his body. His father had already been captured by the Han clan for over a decade. Each time he thought of this, his heart began to feel a little twisted. Moreover, he also understood that the ancient jade was the protective charm of his father. If it was not because the ancient jade was in his hand, it was likely that his father would have already met his demise. Xiao Yuan's eyes stared at Xiao Yang. A moment later, he could only smile bitterly and sigh. Currently, Xiao Yan was no longer alone like he was back then. His current strength was not only able to fight them head-on, but there was also an extremely powerful Sky Mansion alliance behind him. If the 3 ancient clans wished to fight the Han clan, the Sky Mansion alliance would definitely be of a great help. Hence, attempting to snatch the ancient jade was something that they could not do no matter how they looked at it. Now, the only thing we can do is to quickly gather helpers. The army will gather in half a month. We must definitely snatch some ancient jade from the hands of the Han clan. Xiao Yuan sighed and said. Lei Ying and Yang Jin shook upon hearing this. In this way, they would truly engage in a war with the Han clan in half a month's time. Xiao Yang clenched his fist. An icy cold hand was extended from beside him and grabbed his arm. He turned his head and glanced at Zun beside him. Suddenly he looked at Xiao Yuan and said, Uncle Xiao, do you know if there is any method that can allow the ancestor of the Xiao clan, Xiao Xian, in the heavenly tomb to be revived? Xiao Yuan, Lei Ying and the others in the hall felt their hands trembled upon hearing the words Xiao Xian. That name continued to be deeply ingrained in their minds even after thousands of years. That was the only person who had nearly managed to kill Han Tiendi in the many years that had passed. From a certain point of view, Xiao Xian in the heavenly tomb is merely a soul fragment. He is only able to exist and possess his strength due to the unique aspect of the heavenly tomb. Trying to revive him, I'm afraid that it will be impossible. Xiao Yuan sighed and said. If it was possible to revive Xiao Xian, they would not find it so troublesome to deal with Han Tiendi. Xiao Yang's eyes immediately revealed a disappointment upon hearing this. He was quiet for a moment before he spoke again. I wish to enter the heavenly tomb again. May I know if Uncle Jiyu has any way to do so? Jiyu Yuan was startled. He hesitated for a moment before nodding slowly. If you insist on doing so, I will be able to send you in. Perhaps, you can find Xiao Yan and see if he has any way to revive himself. A couple of figures were suspending in the air in the deep mountains of the Jiyu clan. Their eyes were looking towards the space above the mountain range. It seemed as though their eyes were able to penetrate through the space and look at the figure, which had once been all-powerful on the central plains. Their expressions were somewhat complicated. Xiao Yang, the heavenly tomb, will open once every 20 years. If we count the time, there is still quite a while before it will be opened again. Jiyu Yuan placed both of his hands behind him. His eyes shifted from the space as he said, however, I will forcefully tear open a crack line in the heavenly tomb and allow you to enter. However, you must remember not to remain for more than a year in the heavenly tomb. Otherwise, you will be rejected by the heavenly tomb. I have troubled Uncle Jiyu. Xiao Yang nodded. 1 day in the heavenly tomb was equivalent to 5 days in the outside world. 1 year inside was equivalent to slightly over 2 months in the outside world. However, the Han clan only gave him half a month's time. It was naturally impossible for him to remain for such a long time inside the heavenly tomb. Are you sure that you don't require anyone to accompany you in? Jiyu Yuan inquired again. Xiao Yang smiled and shook his head. With his current strength, it was likely that no one other than Xiao Yan could harm him within the heavenly tomb. Jiyu Yuan did not say anything more after seeing Xiao Yang's insistence. He waved his hand and the natural energy whistled past. One could vaguely hear a whistling sound being emitted. Soon after, the empty space suddenly fluctuated intensely. A dark black crack line was forcefully torn apart. There was an unusual ancient and desolate feeling spreading from within. Xiao Yang, return quickly. Jiyu Yuan cried out in a deep voice as he looked at the spatial crack line, which he had torn apart. Xiao Yang nodded. He did not hesitate. His hand gently patted Zun beside him before he moved. He turned into a ray of light, which directly shot into the crack and disappeared. Jiyu Yuan's hand touched the empty space after seeing Xiao Yang vanish into the spatial crack. The crack slowly disappeared. He looked at the worried Zun and involuntarily laughed. Relax, nothing will happen to him. Zun nodded gently after hearing this. The heavenly tomb was covered by a misty fog. Loneliness and silence seemed to be the only thing present in this world. The misty space suddenly became distorted. A figure stepped on the air and appeared. His eyes glanced at this somewhat familiar environment and involuntarily sighed. He merely had the strength of a Dozun when he had arrived in the place the last time. Now, however, he had already become an expert at the top of the Do Chi continent. Xiao Yang's eyes swept around him as he sighed. His vast and mighty spiritual strength spread. The pair of bone wings on his back flapped, and he turned into a storm that swiftly rushed towards the deep parts of the heavenly tomb. The heavenly tomb storm, which appeared extremely dangerous in his eyes back then, did not possess the slightest threat to him now. The heavenly tomb contained countless of energy bodies. It did not lack some powerful existences. However, even these existences involuntarily revealed a shock after sensing the powerful pressure flying across the sky. None of them dared to intervene and stop the figure. All they could do was to simply watch the figure, which disappeared into the distance in the blink of an eye. With Xiao Yang's current speed and his unobstructed path, he had reached the deep parts of the heavenly tomb within a short hour. When he had first entered the heavenly tomb, he had spent many months in order to reach this place. A human figure wearing a blood-colored armor was sitting on a towering stone pillar in a chaotic rubble area deep within the heavenly tomb. A blood blade containing a rich bloody scent was beside him. There were many energy bodies present around the chaotic rubble. However, their faces were afraid as they looked at the blood-colored human figure. None of them dared to disturb him. There were many figures within the chaotic rubble region, but none of them dared to speak loudly. Hence, the hurried rushing wind sound in the sky caused many of the energy bodies in this region, who had reached the peak of the 9 Change Dozun class, to suddenly stand up. Their eyes revealed a cold glint as they looked in the direction where the rushing wind sound had come from. This was the territory of the Saint Xuedao. Who dared to act in such a presumptuous manner? The blood-colored armored human figures opened his eyes as the energy bodies revealed a fierce glint. He frowned and looked at the direction where the sound had originated from. Immediately, a cold snort sounded. The blood blade beside him flew out and turned into a blood glow, which shot towards the source of the sound. The blood light shot into the dense fog. Before others could flatter him, however, the blood light was shot backwards. One could hear a clang sound as the blood blade was shot into the stone pillar below the blood-colored human figure. Even the hilt of the blade had been deeply inserted into the pillar. Ha ha, Saint Xuedao, it has been many years since we have met, but you need not receive me so warmly, do you? Saint Xuedao had a change in expression when a soft laughter suddenly sounded. Immediately, a skinny figure stepped on the empty air and slowly appeared in front of him. That somewhat familiar young face caused Saint Xuedao to be startled. It's a human. What delicious flesh. Those surrounding energy bodies had reddened eyes after seeing this figure. Their crimson eyes were filled with greed. Some of the bold ones had even involuntarily stepped forward. You are that little fellow from the Xiao clan back then. Saint Xuedao looked at the young figure, and his eyes suddenly widened. His face was filled with disbelief. Back then, Xiao Yan was merely only a dozun. The latter did not even have the ability to retaliate in his hand. Yet, now that they had met again, he was able to sense an extreme danger from Xiao Yan. That feeling allowed him to understand that Xiao Yan's strength had currently far surpassed him. Get lost. This is the young master of the Xiao clan. Do you dare touch him? Saint Xuedao suddenly saw those energy bodies encircling around Xiao Yan after he was momentarily stunned. His expression immediately became cold. With a wave of his sleeve, he directly sent those energy bodies flying. Immediately, he hurried to his feet and spoke politely to Xiao Yan. It is likely that brother Xiao Yan is here to find Xiao Xian, right? Ha ha, there are still some troublesome fellows behind. Please allow me to lead the way to avoid delaying your time. What do you say? Ha ha, in that case, I will trouble you. Xiao Yang smiled. He did not reject the aid of Saint Xuedao. It was indeed possible for him to sense many powerful existences in the deep region. Although he was unafraid, he did not wish to waste time in this place. This is a small matter. Brother, you are a descendant of Xiao Xian. Anyone who attacks you in this heavenly tomb will only end up dying. Saint Xuedao smiled. After which, his body floated and he rushed towards the deep region. Xiao Yang also quickly followed from behind. There were many powerful energy bodies deep within the heavenly tomb. There were even some existence comparable to elite Doshings present. They had sensed Xiao Yang the moment the latter stepped into the deep region. However, they were about to surround him and eat his flesh when they hurriedly withdrew in shock from some soft words from Saint Xuedao. He is a descendant of the great Xiao Xian. The simple words caused those overlord-level energy body existences within the heavenly tomb to have a change in expression because of shock. All of them turned around and fled faster than anything else. These old demons had existed within the heavenly tomb for an unknown number of years. They clearly understood just who was the overlord of the heavenly tomb. Xiao Yang had walked to the deepest part of the heavenly tomb unobstructed under the lead of Saint Xuedao. He once again saw the ancient tomb, which he had seen back then on a desolated plain. Brother, I will take my leave. Saint Xuedao did not dare to step forward after reaching a spot 10,000 feet from the tomb. He spoke softly to Xiao Yang before bowing and slowly stepping back. His face was filled with an extremely rich fear and respect since the beginning. Xiao Yang watched the tomb in the distance. He involuntarily lamented. This ancestor of the Xiao clan was indeed an extremely outstanding person. Not only was he all-powerful when he was alive, but he could still be considered a dominant ghost even though only a soul fragment remained. No wonder, even someone as strong as Jiu Yuan could only sigh emotionally when the great name of this person was mentioned. Xiao Yang walked closer to the tomb. Both of his knees gently knelt on the ground. He kowtowed to the tomb and softly said, "This descendant Xiao Yang greets ancestor." "Stop kneeling, little fellow." Xiao Yang's voice had just sounded when a faint laughter sounded beside him. He lifted his head and saw a figure leaning against the tomb. Black hair was scattered on his shoulder, giving him a free and easy appearance. The warm smile contained on his face was inspiring. This figure was that of Xiao Xian, whom Xiao Yang had met back then. Intermediate 6-star Do Xing, perfect heavenly state soul, purifying demonic lotus flame and a couple of other heavenly flames. Xiao Xian's deep space-like eyes swept over Xiao Yang's body. This glance was all it took for him to completely see through Xiao Yang. He quickly smiled and nodded slowly as he praised, "Little fellow, well done." If Xiao Chen was present, it was likely that he would be a little stunned at hearing Xiao Xian's evaluation. There had never been someone in the Xiao clan back then who had obtained such an evaluation from Xiao Xian. Xiao Yang smiled. His eyes looked at Xiao Xian. The latter did not appear majestic, but that skinny figure seemed to be able to fight against the heavens and earth. It caused one to feel incomparably safe. "Tell me what has happened during these years." Xiao Xian sat on the ground and laughed. Xiao Yang nodded slightly. He arranged his memories and began to speak in a steady voice, as he conveyed the many experiences of his during these years and the current situation that he faced. The corner of Xiao Xian's mouth was lifted into a smile, as he heard the soul-stirring experience Xiao Yang had. His expression did not change because of any of the incidents. Currently, the Han clan is extremely powerful. My aim in coming to the heavenly tomb is to find a way to revive ancestor. If you can join the fight, even the Han clan will not be able to stir any trouble. Xiao Yang's eyes were filled with some excitement as he looked at Xiao Xian and said, "This video will end here.